Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
I'm ready.
Okay, so, we got this story about going out to dinner, celebratory dinner,
Uh-huh.
but it went a little sideways
Yeah.
when the bill came. And now the listener is wondering, well, am I the asshole?
Yeah.
AITA
It's a classic.
for reacting the way they did to the bill.
Right.
So let's get into this. Let's dive in. This is such a common thing,
It is.
right? Like going out to dinner and then, oh, what's this?
Yeah, the surprise.
The bill comes.
Yeah.
So tell me what kind of emotions can come up around this? What do you think?
Well, I think, a surprise bill can really kind of stir up all sorts of emotions.
It can.
And particularly when it's, an expensive one or one that is outside of the expectation of one of the partners.
Right. And, it's interesting. In this particular story, our listener said that, she had suggested maybe going someplace a little bit less expensive.
Right.
And even apologized later, when she realized that maybe her reaction was a little strong for, the situation.
Yeah.
So she was aware.
Right.
But it's so tough. Like when you get that bill,
It is.
what's the right way? What's the etiquette around
Yeah, what's the right way to react
reacting to a bill?
to a bill? Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's this unwritten rule book
Mm-hmm.
that we all got, but nobody told us about
Right.
when it comes to money and dealing with money in public, especially.
Absolutely. Money's often treated as such a taboo topic.
It is.
And particularly reacting to, costs and things.
Right.
It can be perceived as breaching kind of that etiquette.
Yeah, you don't want to cause a scene.
Right, exactly.
Right. But sometimes that little voice in your head's like, whoa, this is a lot.
Totally.
Like, what do you do? It's let's split it. Always the answer.
Right. I mean, I think there are definitely ways that you can,
Yeah.
handle surprise a bit more gracefully.
Okay, how? Tell me more.
So, for example, instead of that kind of, oh my God, you could just say something, a bit more playful, like, wow, someone's celebrating in style tonight,
Okay.
just to kind of acknowledge the cost, but in a way that's lighthearted.
Yeah, lighten it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Or if you're really concerned, maybe have a discreet conversation with your partner later to make sure you're both aligned on, budgeting and spending.
Right. And especially in this case, it's tricky because, our listener did say
Yeah.
that it was her husband's choice
Mhm.
to go to this fancy place. She wanted to go somewhere
Right.
a little more low key.
Yeah.
So there's another layer here. It's like, okay, whose expectations are we talking about here?
Absolutely. And his insistence on going to that upscale place, despite, her preference,
Yeah.
really suggests there might be some kind of communication gap there.
Yeah.
So maybe he felt pressure to celebrate in a certain way, Maybe he has some anxieties about, appearing successful or something. We don't know, but
Yeah. Or maybe this is just me speculating,
yeah.
but maybe he has some anxieties around money in general.
Right.
And so seeing her react that way
Yeah.
in public, maybe that really
Well,
set him off.
It became about something much bigger than just the bill itself.
Okay. I like that. The bill became a stand-in for something
Right.
else.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's where, the communication piece becomes so crucial for
Yeah.
couples. They really need to be on the same page about, their expectations, their financial comfort levels,
Right.
even those personal sensitivities, especially, like you said, in these celebratory moments when everything is, the emotions are high, stakes are a little bit higher.
Right. Yeah. And, there's this other little detail that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
Our listener mentioned that, they won't see us again
Uh-huh.
about the restaurant staff.
And I thought that was really interesting because it
Mhm.
made me think about, how much do even just fleeting interactions with people
Yeah.
affect us?
Right.
And how much do we let that affect
Uh-huh.
our behavior and how we react in those situations?
That is a fascinating point. It brings up the question of, how much do we shape our behavior based on the perceived judgments of others, even strangers?
Yeah.
And it really is this kind of this balancing act, right?
Right.
Between staying true to ourselves and kind of, navigating social expectations gracefully.
Yeah. And I think that maybe the answer isn't about one person being right or wrong,
Right.
but just understanding that we
Exactly.
all have different sensitivities and anxieties that come into play in these situations.
Absolutely. The key takeaway here is that open communication and understanding
Yeah.
are so paramount.
Yeah. Mhm.
Discussing your preferences, your anxiety, even those seemingly small social anxieties can really create a stronger foundation for the relationship so you can navigate future situations.
I love that. So it's not just about splitting the bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's about splitting the emotional weight of the entire situation,
Yeah.
recognizing those individual sensitivities and finding that compromise that feels good for both people.
I like that.
Now that's some food for thought.
It is.
All right. Well, join us next time for another deep dive.
See you then.